Hi, welcome to the Book Lab. We are your Book Lab partners. I'm Anna.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we thought after having this channel for almost 6 months that we should finally do a real introduction video.
It's really been 6 months.
Well, I think you posted your first video like sometime in September. So, yes.
So, yeah, okay.
Wow. About 6 months. But we've only consistently been posting since December. So yeah, we wanted to tell you more about ourselves.
Kind of like introduce ourselves, so...
You'll get to know us.
Yeah.
We'll talk about ourselves for hopefully not too long.
Yeah.
So, chances are you haven't seen our TikTok. So we started out on TikTok last year.
Yeah.
We started buddy reading 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But we started our TikTok account, which is Book Lab Partners. The same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Except I think there's dots between the words.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. We started out there, and we started out as like little drawn cartoons that we kind of like animated.
Yeah, like if you think about how animators...
Animatic style.
Yeah, we drew a lot of like different poses for the characters to do.
But both of us deleted TikTok, so we don't have access to TikTok anymore.
I will not be downloading it again.
And that's good. We're going to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Which also means we'll be behind on book talk trends, but that's fine.
It's okay.
No
one will notice.
Yeah, we started out there. We did that for 3 months.
Yeah.
I think. It's been almost a year since our last video over there.
It was so time consuming. That's why
It took so long.
Yeah, I watched the entirety of a movie one time just animating like a 30-minute video. But it was Saltburn, so I didn't waste a lot of energy with that. Do you remember that? I would just go like, oh my god.
I do remember you watching that and occasionally like looking up going, holy shit.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to look. I don't want to know.
I don't need to know. And then you were like, it's a bad movie.
Yeah, it was a bad movie.
I'm never going to watch it.
Hot take.
I think it's a very it's like 50-50 people like it or they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved over here because we wanted to do more long form content, and editing our actual selves is a lot easier than editing poses when it's like you have to change multiple different things and like input the image into CapCut, and also editing on an iPad.
Yeah, it was a toughie.
It's rough. Yeah. We're here now, and we're here to stay for a while. And yeah, if you're here watching this, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Something I want to do is just bring to light like different authors and different stories that I think are important, and also just making it a fun place. I know that I'm not going to be really interested in doing a lot of the drama side of it. Like, because I know that there are a lot of really good YouTubers that focus a lot on book talk drama or book drama. But I'm not really about that. Like, trust me, it's fun for me to, like, watch that.
Love watching the
Love
videos.
watching that, but...
Would never subject myself to that.
No, the amount of effort it takes. Something that I want to do, and I hope that you want to do too, is give, like, college students like us a platform to kind of appreciate books, but not have the nagging feeling that you're not doing enough.
Yeah. Well, since we just said we're college students, we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves as... college students. I'll go first. I'm an English... we're second years, by the way, at Nondescript University. Not going to tell you. You don't get to know. We're second years. I'm an English major, English literature major, and a creative writing minor, because I want to be an author one day. Big shock. I like reading. I want to write books. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. I'm not like... English major TM, I only read classics. I've actually read less than 10 classics in my life, and they've like almost all been for school, but you know, that doesn't mean I'm not an English student. I am, trust me. What about you?
So I am a double major in comparative literature and Japanese, and if you don't know, comparative literature is basically the comparison of different literature in a global perspective. So my major focuses on Japanese literature and American literature, and it compares it and contrasts it. And I just do like a more deep dive into Japanese literature. And then I'm also a creative writing minor. I was going to be an English major, but then I saw that, like...
You changed your mind pretty quickly.
I changed my mind very quickly.
The fall term, you're like, no.
Yeah, no.
Fall term since freshman year. Caitlin decided to switch paths majorly.
I saw the rubric, and it was just focused on, like, I don't know, the second I saw that, like, you have to take a class for, like, the art of the sentence...
It's like just a writing class. I don't know. I haven't taken it yet.
Well, there's like a lot of like grammar intensive classes, and they sound terrible to me personally. I also want to be a writer.
We're both writers.
Yay! But I also like have other like interests, like translation work possibly. I actually am also interested in doing like kind of a trade work, like mechanics. You know, what am I going to do?
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to talk about how we know each other. Because we've been friends for, I wrote the number, 7.5 years. That's a long, long time.
We should put up like
I'll put a picture of baby us.
Yay!
Our short hair.
No, we should do when we went hiking that one time.
I think that's the first photo I have on my phone of the two of us.
Yeah.
Both of us with short hair, little baby faces. And now
we're adults.
We're adults.
Maybe.
Adults.
Who knows?
Do you want to tell people how we met? You don't have to make it super detailed, but I think the story is really funny.
So we met, so I went up to my friend. This was 7th grade, like fall semester, 7th grade.
I think it was like November.
Yeah.
I think.
I went up to one of my friends who was like standing in a little group, and I was like, oh my god, BTS is ruining my life. Because I just like, I started listening to them because I think DNA played at our like Sadie Hawkins dance.
I'm so sad. I wasn't in the room when that happened.
Yeah.
I was outside somewhere. That makes me really sad that I missed that.
It was a crazy experience. I was just like, what is this music? What is this melody? And then I got really obsessed with it because I get obsessed with a lot of things really easily, and then I get hooked on, and I can't let go. I can't let my claws retract. So I went up to my friend and I was like, oh my god, BTS is ruining my life. And then Anna was right next to her, and then she was like,
I think I was like, oh, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
Like, we were in the same homeroom, but we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
So I just look up, someone comes up and say, like, K-pop's ruining my life. And I look up and say, me too!
And then we were like, oh my god, which band? And then...
Which band? Just like, then we like immediately traded numbers, sent each other memes.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was, the rest is history. Insert pictures of us at the BTS concert. Oh my god. That was almost 3 years ago.
Oh, no! That's so sad.
Still the happiest day of my life.
That was a really good day.
That was really good. We looked so cute.
Yeah, we did. I loved our matching outfits.
We were very cute.
It was cute.
I'll put up pictures. Cause
cutesy.
Yeah, we bonded through K-pop. We've been through thick and thin together.
We really have. We would like during COVID. We would be on the phone for hours while Anna played.
I played Minecraft.
And I played Breath of the Wild.
We just talk about random stuff.
It was beautiful.
It was great.
It's blissful.
Love our friendship.
Yeah.
Best friends forever. And yes, hopefully we'll be friends for the rest of our lives.
I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will too.
Because, like, I feel like people always say that after the 7-year mark of friendship, and especially because we're past, like, kind of the more formative, like, changing years of our lives.
The rough years of high school.
The trials and tribulations of of high school football. But
except we didn't have football at our school.
Yeah, we went to an art school.
Yeah, we're weird. Yeah. Lots of drama at that school.
As I say, the drama was incestuous because we all knew each other for, like, 7 years.
That's an awful way to describe it.
Okay. Moving on.
We're going to move on now. We're going to talk about ourselves and what we like. We have many categories of which we're going to start with. We're going to do the obvious. This is a book channel. We're going to talk about our favorite bookish things, which include, like, genres, authors,
books,
all that. Caitlin prepared her answers in advance. I did not. She's going to go first. Okay. So yeah, tell everyone your... Actually, you can also go in whatever order you wrote it down.
Okay. So my 3 favorite books of, not of all time, but like of what I could think of, like...
It's like current.
Yeah, it's always changing. It's ever changing, ever growing. My 3 favorite books are Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which I read in like 7th grade. It's still so good.
I read that last year because of her. It was really good.
It's really
Very
good.
fun.
That's really good. And then my second favorite book is Clara and the Sun, which is kind of what started me to like read more intensely again, or like not more intensely, but just like read as a hobby again instead of just like reading like one book a year. If you ever look on our Goodreads, don't feel bad about me like reading like 55 books last year. That was the most I've ever read, and the year before that was 17 books in a year, which again was the most I ever read in a year. So that's like, this is brand new territory for me. I'm not like, now I read like whenever I can, but I did not used to do it. And I think Clara and the Sun was definitely one of the first books to kind of get me started. And it's by Kazuo Ishiguro, which also started my interest in Japanese literature. And then my third favorite book, which is what I read that this year, was The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Tell you this right now, you have to read this book. It's such a good book. You gotta read it. Anyway, you have to read it. It's like, it's beautiful. I loved it. The way I read usually at school is I read before I go to bed, and then I read after I wake up, and I would like read it every morning. And like low key, one time I skipped my class because it was too good.
It's okay.
Don't do that, kids.
You can, if you want. As long as it's not a super important class.
Yeah.
I will go next with my top 3 books. 2 of them were two of my favorite books last year, so like, recency bias, that's a thing in psychology. I'd say one of my number 1 books is not even fiction, which is really surprising. Last year I read 2 memoirs for the first time, and my favorite book last year, and one of my favorite books of all time, is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. It's an amazing memoir. I love it. It's so good. Next book is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I read that, I think I started it the week that quarantine started in 2020. So I was like so emotionally invested. I was also 15 at the time, and I was like really like at that age, like 15 to like 17, when I would get into stuff, I'd be like deep. I was entrenched.
Yeah. Head in the sand.
Yeah. I loved Six of Crows when I was 15, and I keep meaning to reread it. But I think it's just such a good example of like YA fantasy done well.
And like really
the
well.
Characters just so good.
Yeah.
And the third favorite book I'll say is probably the best fantasy I've ever read, which is another book that I read last year, which is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I think it's fantastic. It's incredible. I love it so much. I read the second book. I'll talk about that in a wrap-up soon. And I'll hopefully read the third and last book sometime this spring.
I do want to read it. Like, do you own them, or do you have it on your Kindle?
I borrowed them from the library, but I'm going to buy a physical copy over spring break.
Beautiful.
And if you want, I can bring it here and you can read it.
I'm going to steal it.
Yeah. Okay. Next, why don't you tell everyone your favorite authors?
Okay. I think, like, the first one, for sure, Marissa Meyer. I loved the Lunar Chronicles when I was younger. I still love them. It's such a, like, it has such a solid place in my heart. And Heartless, oh, it's so good. I like absolutely adored it. Really, like, she ate no crumbs. Then my second author is Ava Reed, who did The Wolf and the Huntsman, who did Juniper and Thorn, who did Lady Macbeth. I haven't read that yet, but I really want to. Her writing is so scrumptious. So good. I talked about her in the last video I made. She's just a perfect example of tying past stories and past fantastical elements into Jewish and like Northern European folklore. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really fascinating thing. And I just realized both of my 2 favorite authors rewrite fairy tales.
When they're done well, they're
When
done
they're
really
done,
well.
yeah, when they're done well, they're done really well. And then my last favorite author is Banana Yoshimoto. She is she's where the little history lesson. She's where the kind of shoujo for girls story type came from. So she writes really like lighthearted but like serious stories for a lot of like younger women who aren't really married yet or who are married and who are just like in the younger parts of life. A good introduction novel for her, and the first one that I read is The Kitchen, which goes through this girl who her parents die and she's living with her grandmother, and she starts to like fall in love with this boy and whatnot. It's a really sweet story, and it's different, which is also really nice.
My favorite authors have a lot of overlap with my favorite books, which isn't surprising. So, one of my favorite authors, I can't even describe why, I just really love her books, is Nikki Pau-Prito. She wrote the Crown of Feathers trilogy. I love that very much. There's just something about it. It hits different for me. Also, Leigh Bardugo wrote Six of Crows and The Familiar and Shadow and Bone and all that.
Love Leigh Bardugo.
She's very good. And the third one, the one that I came up with right now is N.K. Jemisin, the woman who wrote the 5th season. Just because her writing is incredible. And like, I'd totally be down to read her other books after I finish the Broken Earth series. Those are my 3 favorite right now.
I wanna put in, just because I'm a nerd, another favorite author of mine is Tolkien. I love him. Love him very much. Okay, the next thing that we are going to cover is favorite genres. But my favorite genres are fantasy, literary fiction, and dystopia, or dystopian. And I know that literary fiction is like really broad, but the way that I kind of define literary fiction is a story that takes like a deeper meaning and it tries to explain it. Like, the main purpose of the plot isn't necessarily the story itself. It's instead the reason or the teachings that it's going to go behind it, or the history that it's trying to explain. For instance, something that I read recently that I really liked was The Berry Pickers. It is a historical fiction, but I would also like argue that it is literary fiction because it is trying to teach the audience about the truth behind a lot of the reality for Indigenous people in like around the 60s and 70s, which is very interesting. And boy, is it a tearjerker. It hurt to read, but it's so well done. And it's also by a native author, and I think that it is very important to be able to give platforms for those people.
My top 3 genres are very similar. My top 3 genres are fantasy. Like, that's probably my top genre for the rest of my life. It always has been. I don't know. Sci-fi. Even though I don't read a whole lot of sci-fi, I just think there's so much potential with sci-fi.
I agree with that. I'm gonna add that to mine too.
And I'm stealing from Caitlin, and I'm gonna say dystopian. I originally said contemporary, but that's pretty broad, and I don't honestly read a whole lot of like. I apparently like things that are fantastical or like
that are not like this world.
Not like, yeah, not real. And then dystopian's like so good. I should have mentioned it. I also love The Hunger Games. That's one of my favorite book series as well. So
you dressed up as Katniss for one of your for 4th grade, right?
5th grade, I was Katniss Everdeen for Halloween, and my mom like made half the costume. She's still very proud of that.
That's so cute.
Yes.
The next thing is our favorite tropes. Mine are kind of like tropes, but mine are also just kind of, they don't fit into genres, they don't fit into books, they don't fit into like authors. So my first one is weird girl books, like weird girl literature. Like, if you're
more like a sub-genre.
Yeah, if you see a girl on campus and she's like reading a book with like an interesting looking cover and it's like, what's she reading? That's the type of stuff I love. So for instance, I'm a fan, Bunny, Acts of Desperation. I have a huge list of them on my Goodreads. Those types of books I love. So basically, women going insane. Another one I really like is there's an apocalypse, or there's a type of situation where it puts characters or people into distress. So for instance, Tender is the Flesh, where there is this disease that wipes out all animals except for birds, and people have to eat other people and make like leather and stuff out of humans, and what type of like mentality it brings on it. I just like that. It's interesting. And then third one, and it's silly. I know it's silly, but you gotta listen to me. When this happened in the Shadow and Bone series, like when I watched it, I was like, yeah, I love this. And if I ever have like fantastical characters or that are like in a romance, I will put this in there. I know it's overused, but I love it. So shush. Two people, one bed.
Only one bed.
There's only one bed. What are they gonna do?
No, I haven't watched more than 2 episodes or 1 episode of the show, so I don't know what you're talking about.
They're gonna sleep on the floor, though, and then they want to.
You want to sleep on the floor?
Are they gonna sleep on the floor? But it's cold, and they're like soaking wet, so they have to huddle for warmth.
Oh wait, never mind. I know what you're talking about. Xena and Matthias, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I do know what that is, but not in the context of the show. My favorite tropes. One that I love, and it's also present in the Crown of Feathers trilogy, is the kind of like conflict or war between family. Ooh, so one is like, the conflict is like hypertension because like the enemies like know each other and they like used to love each other and be family, but then there's like, they have to be on opposite sides for various reasons. I love that.
It's good.
And in the same vein of Six of Crows, I also love found family. A found family is a really good opportunity for the writer to exhibit their characterization skills and like how characters interact, and like people love like the banter of found family. I think found family is lovely and can also be really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And the last one I have is when this is done right, enemies to lovers is so good, or rivals to lovers, like that too. But like, it has to be done right.
Yeah. It can't be like fake, like, oh,
it can't
I
be
hate
cheap.
you.
And yeah, it can't be one-sided.
Yeah.
If it's one-sided, it's like, I hate you, but the other person's just like,
I don't care.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Can't I think of an example off the top of my head? Not really.
I have an example, but it's in my movies list, so.
Oh. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about movies.
And TV shows and other things that we like.
Other interests.
So my favorite movies, like two of them I would say like are my top favorite, and then the third one is just like something that I really like. I just realized all of my all of the things that I like it's like always like 2 random things and then like a Japanese something, because that's like what this is. I promise I'm not a weeb. Please don't think I'm a weeb.
I mean, you're a Japanese major. It's kind of what you expect.
The first movie that I absolutely adore is the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, which is what I meant by enemies to lovers. I own it because I was like, there's no way. I'm like, if I can't watch this movie whenever I please, I'm going to throw a chair. It's so good. The way that they do the enemies to lovers is how they talk about their own prejudices and their pride, and that's why it makes a good enemies to lovers. The thing I hate is when it's unjustified or it makes no sense for them to absolutely hate each other, but it does in this movie for reasons that you'll see if you watch it. You should watch it. The next movie I love and that I actually have a tattoo of is Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. It's one of Studio Ghibli's first movies. It is Studio Ghibli's first movie before they even became like an official studio. It's so good.
Really good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I love that movie. I love it. It's perfect. Like dystopian. The world has gone to shit because of humankind, and there's a toxic jungle. And how do people survive? And how do people come together in this circumstance? And if there is a savior, if there is a cause, are people going to actually follow that? Perfect. And
then your movie.
Yeah. The last movie that I really love is Shoplifters, which is this Japanese movie about a found family. It hurts. It is so evil. It's evil. How bad it is. It hurts so much because it's talking about the poverty in Japan, which isn't a thing that's usually addressed in media because everyone thinks that Japan is like cute and like clean, and that's just factually not true. But if you want a good cry, and if you want to see really good found family, then watch that. And then another movie that I really like, Rango.
Rango!
I love Rango.
That's a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
I remember after you and our other roommate left last year after you guys moved out,
Yeah.
and I was the only one left in the room, I watched Rango.
As you should.
It was so good. My top 3 movies. First up is a movie that I only saw for the first time in December in IMAX, which is honestly part of the main reason why I love it so much. And that's
wish I could've seen it.
Interstellar. Interstellar. Oh.
It's so good.
Seeing that for the first time in IMAX was an incredible experience. I think it's so good. It's awesome. I love space. I think space is really cool.
Space is very cool.
I love space. Next up is, honestly, you could pick either one, but the animated Spider-Verse films, either Into or Across.
They're so
I'm kind of
good.
more partial to Into, but also Across is so good. I'm really excited and scared for the third one.
Yeah.
Whenever that's coming out.
That's gonna be terrifying.
But I just think Spider-Verse is like the best animated movie ever, and also probably, in my opinion, as not a big superhero person, the best superhero movie. Because just, I don't know, it humanizes the characters really well, and especially with the characters being teenagers. Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
The third one is just kind of an all-time favorite, kind of comfort movie for me, and that is Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Oh, it's so good.
Love that movie. I love it so much. I blame that for my love of pirates, and I just think it's such a good, funny movie.
It's so funny. Like
I love it to pieces.
The first scene when like Jack Sparrow's
He comes
like
in,
on
like,
his like
on the-
yeah, and it's like he's like oh I'm so high up, and it's like a little dinky
the
boat.
ship is sinking into the harbor. It's awesome.
Perfect.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Peak cinema.
Peak.
You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Move
Now
on
we're.
to TV shows.
I like a lot of TV shows.
I watch very little TV.
I watch a decent chunk, but like I don't know. There's some like they're just like classics for me, and also like my household we like do like watch like eat dinner and then watch like a couple episodes of a TV show. So I have a couple, and I'm gonna run through them really quickly because like I just love them so much. Arcane, so good. Bob's Burgers, peak comedy. The Bear, peak everything, peak drama, peak everything, love it. New Girl, also peak comedy. I like a lot of comedies. I think I don't like funny movies, I like funny TV shows. Because I feel like funny movies, if you look up comedy, and if you like go through Netflix and you go to the comedy section, not like only half of them are actually funny. I think that super gratuitous, like dirty humor isn't as funny as like genuine comedy sometimes. Yeah. What else? I just thought, Schitt's Creek, banger, so fucking funny, and also really like good representation for like a personal growth in a comedic sense. And then The Sopranos.
I was waiting for you to say The Sopranos.
This is a reality show. This is a reality TV show, and I have to say it because I've been watching it a lot, and it's Drive to Survive.
Oh. We'll get to that later.
No, I'm not here.
We'll get to that.
Real quick though, why I like it so much is because how inaccurate it is. Because they make drama out of nothing. They're like,
that's what reality show
they're
TV is.
They're so angry at each other. And I'm like, dude,
are they though?
No, they're tired. They just raced for like an hour in really hot conditions, and they're sleepy.
They're eepy.
They're eepy. Anyway,
my top 3 shows. Like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. It's also really hard for me to commit to a show. There are a million things that I've started and have not made past like the 2nd or 3rd episode. It was basically my entire anime phase for when I was younger. Never finished. I've finished so few things. Anyway, my favorite TV show of all time is, and I have a Funko Pop from this because I asked for it for Christmas, it's Arcane. Look at her mirrored.
That's so
Arcane.
wrong.
Goodbye. I think Arcane is incredible.
Peak.
So good. I love it so much. I've seen it not as many times as you have. But that's because you've also showed it to more people.
I've seen the first season 8 times in completion.
I've probably seen it 5 times.
I'm not ready to watch the second season again. It's gonna break my heart.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I love Arcane.
So good.
I think it's one of the best TV shows ever made.
It's the best animated TV.
Yes.
It's best animated TV show ever made.
Especially because it's mature. And it's also, like, visually
so good.
Stunning!
Yeah.
Next, I have an anime that just holds, like, a really soft spot in my heart. Like, I haven't watched this since probably 2018 or 2019. Wow. It's only 2 seasons, so it's like,
yeah,
I could easily rewatch it. That anime is Noragami. I just love it so much. I can't explain why. Well, actually, I can probably explain why. It's one of the first animes I watched in completion when I first started getting into anime. And I love the characters. I love the story. I love the manga, even though I stopped reading it like 3 years ago, and now it's over. And
wait, really?
The manga's over, and I think I have seen some spoilers, and brace my heart. Where I left off, it was heartbreaking anyway. I really need to finish reading that. I also want to collect the manga, so I have like 5 volumes. But yeah, I love Noragami. Favorite anime. Love it to pieces.
It's a good one.
Comfort for the rest of my life. And the third one is a show that I unfortunately kind of abandoned like a year ago in the middle of the 3rd season. But that's The Good Place. I just think it's really good. I think it's funny. It's also like philosophical, and it's not like too trite. I think it's really genuine.
Yeah.
The first season is really good because a lot of people say that.
It's just funny.
I don't know why I stopped watching it, other than it's just hard for me to commit and keep watching.
It's hard to continue watching sitcoms. I haven't seen the entirety of a lot of them that I've seen. Mm-hmm. Only Schitt's Creek, because like we just watched it during COVID. But I did fully drop New Girl after Megan Fox joined, because she ruined it. That's our TV shows. Next we're gonna go into music. I love music. I do too. We both really love music.
Like you said, we bonded through K-pop. So
yeah.
Like our lives, music's a big thing.
Yeah. So instead of kind of like, I'm just gonna list my favorite artists, or like some of my favorite artists really quickly. Mm-hmm. Lamp, Led Zeppelin, Biba Doobie, Wilco, Junip, and Joni Mitchell. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm not like other girls. No, I'm not. I am like other girls.
Me, I listened to, ever since yesterday morning, March 7th, I've been listening to Jennie's new album, Ruby, on repeat, because I love Jennie, I love Blackpink, and I think it's a banger album. I think it's so good. I feel like I've said so good a lot in this video.
I say so good for everything.
Yeah. BTS is probably one of my top artists forever. Whenever they come back, it's over for me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a lot more casual with K-pop now, I still listen to it a lot. I just don't like keep up with anything in the K-pop world other than like music itself. Like one of my other favorite groups is Dreamcatcher. I love Dreamcatcher. And one of my other favorite artists of the last like 6 months is Ethel Cain. Her music is so haunting and beautiful, and it's so lovely.
Yeah.
I honestly don't listen to a huge variety of music. Like, you listen to I think you have a lot more variety than I do.
That's okay.
I mean, I've been listening to K-pop for almost 8 years.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is atrocious to say, by the way. Almost 8 years.
Honestly, it's kind of redeeming, because it's like we've been grandfathered into K-pop. You don't understand. Like we were there when like it was cringy. We were there when it was popular, and now we're there when it's like just nothing. It's not nothing. But
that's a hot take. When it's over commercialized and way mass produced, in my opinion.
I've been listening to like one other author.
Artist?
Yeah, artist, but like I'm not.
Oh, also another one. I also really like Mitski and Ichiko Ayoba.
That too.
I love listening to Ichiko Ayoba when I want to take a nap.
That's so fair.
It's just so calming. And Misky makes me sad.
Yes.
And also Hosier. He was one of my top artists last year.
Another artist I really love is Eliza McLam, who like her EP Salt Circle is so good. It actually like it's so beautiful. I want to put it out there. You should listen to it.
Moving on. Next up, we're going to talk about our favorite games. Like video games.
Yeah. I'm not a board game person. I never have been and I never will be.
That's okay. I'm not like
out there.
Big board game. Though, we're talking about favorite game, non-video game?
D&D. Yeah.
But that's because that's the only one I play.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with your top 3 games?
It's gonna be top 4, or there's an honorable mention.
That's fine.
My top 3 games for like story and graphics, game itself, like gaming itself, and just like love of it is Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda, Red Dead Redemption 2. That has to be my favorite game. It's my favorite game. Is Red Dead Redemption 2. The Last of Us. My first tattoo was an inspiration off of Ellie's tattoo, because I think it's cool.
It is
and
cool.
then my honorable mention is Minecraft, because the nostalgia that is there.
The nostalgia.
It's so good. We have a server with our friends that I've mentioned in my last video that we play every Saturday together.
That's so fun.
Yeah. We don't go to parties.
We play Minecraft.
We play Minecraft.
We play Minecraft and D&D. My 3 favorite games. I didn't actually play that many games just because I have very few platforms. I mean, I've never owned a console that wasn't a Nintendo thing. So my catalog is limited. But one of my favorite games of all time that I just love playing, I also just think, like, kind of objectively, I guess, is a really good game, is Portal. Portal 1 and 2. I think Portal 2 is better. I think a lot of people think that. But Portal 2 is just really fun. The graphics are really good considering it's a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun. I love the story in Portal 2. Well, Portal 1 is also such a great foundation. I beat it in like an hour and a half the other week. I love it so much. And next one, I'm not going to be ashamed of this because I refuse to be. I, for the last almost 4 years, have been playing Genshin Impact.
I feel like,
You know, that one, the anime gacha game that started the absolute plague that is gacha games.
yeah.
That's a personal opinion. I just think a lot of too many people are trying to make anime gacha games and they all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, Genshin just holds like a really like nostalgic place in my heart because I started playing it like a year into quarantine, but like even if I don't play it as much now as I used to, I just still love it a lot. And it's not perfect. I sure as hell know that. But I love it. I like it a lot. And
It's fun. It's definitely fun. I played it for a bit.
yeah. And my third favorite, because like I said, I don't play a whole lot of other games. Though honestly, I would say Mario Kart because I just love playing Mario Kart. My third one is Minecraft because nostalgia, and we play it still. It's a good game.
We beat the 2-week Minecraft obsession.
We played all summer,
Yeah.
and then
We started it winter,
that
like
was
winter break.
term.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We took like a break for a few months, but we're back at it.
We're back.
We're back. And then you joined because you didn't play over the summer.
I was busy.
You were working and traveling and doing all that.
Yeah.
I was just working.
Yeah.
Hey, moving on. Next up are hobbies, which you can't really have, I wouldn't say favorite hobbies, just like our other hobbies other than reading.
Yeah. Mine is working out. I work out actually like quite a lot. I really like getting stronger and bodybuilding. I'm not great at it because I like food. And I think that there is a lot of like toxicity when it comes to bulking and cutting. So I don't really like subscribe to that type of thought process, but
You think it's fun.
I think it's fun
You do
and
it.
I look cool while doing it.
You exercise.
Yeah.
I don't. I will next term.
And then I also like writing, obviously. I've actually started to get back into it. I had to take like a break for college because I do a lot of stuff. I'm a double major. I take usually 18 to 19 credits and I work 20 hours a week and I just have a lot to do and sometimes I don't have the mental capacity to write. But I've started writing again, which makes me feel really happy. And then my third one is watching Formula One.
Simply lovely.
And I say it's a hobby because it's very, like, consuming to, like... What I think is cool about Formula One is that it's half and half. It's half the sportsmanship of the drivers and how good they are at driving, and then it's half the constructors, which are the, like, teams. So you have Ferrari, Aston Martin, Mercedes, McLaren. Those car companies, they can mod their cars and, like, make it special. Like, and they take basically all of winter break, making their cars as best as they can for the next season. And I think that seeing what the constructors can do is also very fascinating.
It's a nice season starting soon.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Next week. Next weekend. It's going to be beautiful.
I'd say the hobby I probably do the most is writing because, like, creative writing. So, like I said, creative writing minor. I'm also taking, I'm in, like, a year-long, like, special program for creative writers. And so, like, I write a lot for a class, but I also write quite a bit for myself. Another hobby that I love, but don't honestly do a whole lot because I get blocks, like, creative blocks with that a lot. And that's drawing. I've been doing, like, digital art for, I can do math, 5 years. I definitely do it a lot less now than I did during COVID, but honestly, there's an overlap between when I started playing Genshin and when I stopped drawing as much. Because I would spend hours a day playing Genshin instead of drawing for hours at a day. But I'm also just a lot harder on myself with my art now, I think. And I also like gaming, but like I said, I don't have a whole lot of platforms for it. But I love building in The Sims 4 because it's just a really fun thing to do. Good creative outlet. And then while I do it, I can also like listen to podcasts or watch YouTube and whatever. Moving on. Our last of our favorites / interests thing. Last up is our fictional crushes. Kayla's going first.
I'll make it really quick. Carlos Sainz, yes, he's a real person, but he's fictional in my heart, okay?
You are not a real person.
Hey, he's not real to me. He's never gonna meet me. Carlos Sainz, Savica from Arcane, and then Mr. Darcy.
My three, I have two from Arcane because
they're built different.
Down bad.
Down bad. The
women in that show. Whew. My favorite, unsurprisingly, because I held up the Funko Pop earlier, is Vi. Love Vi. She's hot and she's cool. She's very cool. I also love Caitlyn from Arcane. Also very cool.
Hello.
And going back to Noragami, Yato. Loved that guy since I was 12. It's been a while.
They stay with you forever.
I will not let him go. And an honorary mention for Kaz Brecker when I was 15. He had me in his clutches.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about, mentioned earlier, we initially started out doing buddy reads our senior year of high school. I think we only did it for like 6 months, so we only read like 6 or 7 books together.
Yeah.
It was a really fun experience.
We're going to do it again, hopefully.
Hopefully. At least once.
Yeah.
At some point we will. Yeah. We started doing it, we were having a sleepover. Was it New Year's?
Yeah.
It was New Year's. New Year's, we're having a sleepover at my house. I remember we drove to the store to get food, dessert or something. I just like happened to bring it up to Caitlin in the car. I was like, what if we started doing buddy reads? Mm-hmm. And then
we were like,
that idea got serious really fast.
That night, I think we like listed out all of the books that we wanted to read.
Yeah, that night or the next morning, we came up with like the book lab partners thing and all that. Oh, also on TikTok, we didn't want to use our real names, even though like we drew avatars that looked a lot like us. But that's not important. The names we picked were Winnie and Robin, and we picked those because we started out looking for like literary duos. I do not remember what the other runners-up were.
Yeah.
But we picked Winnie and Robin for...
Like Winnie the Pooh and
Christopher Robin.
Cute, right?
Yeah, we thought it was cute. You can call us Anna and Caitlin.
Yeah.
You don't need to call us Winnie and Robin anymore. You probably don't even know us as that.
Yeah. We
If
changed-
you want, you can go find our TikTok. There's like not very many videos there.
Yeah.
And they're
Bad.
a year old. They're not bad. They're just very different.
Yeah.
They were very time consuming.
Yeah.
Let's go with our best or favorite and least favorite books that we read for buddy reading. Here, I can pull up the list if you.
So I would say that my favorite was Iron Widow because of how insane, like, the way I describe books is like, did I enjoy it and was it actually good? I enjoyed it. It was not good, but the bantering that we got on when we were reading this together was super funny. And then
I remember you were reading it faster than I was.
Yeah, I was
so you'd
just
like send me updates while I'm like 50 pages behind, and I'm like, you're scaring me.
Yeah. And then the worst one that I think we read was A Quiet Kind of Thunder, which I read in like 7th grade, and I was like, this is the best piece of literature ever. And then I reread it and I was like, this is dog shit. And it wasn't even enjoyable. It was that bad.
Yeah. Quiet Kind of Thunder is also my least favorite. We had a lot of fun hating on that book.
Yeah.
It was so cringy.
It was so bad.
So cringy.
It was so bad.
Melodramatic. It could have been good. It could have been good representation. It might have been. I don't know. But the rest of it was bad.
It was very bad.
My favorite that we read together was Last Night at the Telegraph Club.
That was so well done.
Objectively, that was the best book we read. It was so good. Like, it was a really good historical fiction, queer romance that was, like, really grounded in reality and was queerly. It was clearly well-researched and well-loved. It's an incredible YA book.
It is
You should read
so
it
good.
if you haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
We're going to finish with the books we're currently reading. You probably have more than I do.
I only have 2. I just
Okay.
finished, I was at a hair appointment yesterday. I took 6 hours, so I finished a book there. And it was The Wings of Starlight. It was pretty good. I'll do a review on it later. It's definitely for everyone who's like watched like the Pixie Hollow movies. It was very well done. And I used to hate Queen Clarion for some reason when I was younger, but this made me not hate her. So that's great. But the books I'm currently reading are The Road by Corrin McCarthy. The Road is actually what inspired The Last of Us because it's imagine if you suddenly switch lives with someone who's in an apocalypse and they have to take care of a child. That's basically what it is. But it doesn't. It's like a snapshot of someone's life. No quotation marks. Only no commas. Only periods and question marks. So that's kind of a toughie for me.
When was it written?
2009.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's been very good so far. And then I'm also reading A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen, which is actually kind of cool because they're getting into like the Norse mythology of it. I heard mixed reviews on it though, so I'm interested to see how it goes, but I do like it so far.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm around like 6% of the way through. So it's very beginning.
You've started it.
I've started it.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm currently reading a book for fun, actually. You'll find out when I do my wrap-up. I'll film it during spring break. But I've basically just been reading stuff for school. English major, like I said. Reading a lot for school. But I'm currently reading a book for fun. And that book is To the Right Edge of the World by Eowyn Ivey. This is a historical fiction about a guy exploring Alaska and his like interactions with the indigenous people there and trying not to die going up the frozen over Wolverine River. It's good so far. I like it.
That's cool.
It's good. You'll find out my thoughts in a wrap-up. But yeah, that's all we have for you today. Hopefully I cut this down to a respectable length.
Thank you for getting to know us.
Yes, thank you for stopping by the book lab. And we will both see you later. Goodbye!